at Paint with Heart Studios. I'm Cindy Harrison, your host and resident artist, and I've been a painter for over 20 years, and also painting around the country at conventions, and also published in magazines throughout the US and Asia. And I want to introduce my lovely and sparkly co-host.
Hi, everybody. I'm Melissa Reyes. I go by Ms. Meliz on social media. I have a website called MsMeliz.com where I do reviews and interviews. I have a live talk show, and that's how I met Cindy Harrison online. I'm in Southern California. As you may know, she's in New Hampshire. We met one time in person, and we are like best friends because she teaches painting and I love to learn things. So together we make a great couple. And we're going to see each other this week in Nashville. So next time we meet with you, you'll probably see a few pictures of us together, which is very exciting for us because we spent a lot of time online. Anyhow, I'm an artist. I'm just learning to paint with acrylic paints and doing decorative art. So please bear with me because I ask a lot of silly questions. And that's all I have to say. Have a great time.
There's never a silly question, because I find that sometimes if you feel like you have a silly question and you ask it, there's probably 10 other people that also are wondering the same thing, but we're afraid to ask. So please, anyone who has a question, feel free to ask the question. So today I am celebrating the season with a pumpkin, and I also have a gourd, and I left it in the other room. But we're gonna celebrate by doing there. Yep, see, I like the two tones. I really think that's awesome. And we're gonna be celebrating it with a pumpkin and gourd still life. If you've had a chance to download the, if you've had a chance to download the line drawing, because we will be needing that in a few minutes. And for right now, if you hadn't had a chance, and by show of hands, who has been able to base coat their surface? Yes, yes, yes. And Deborah's working on it. Okay, so that is the thing, and Deborah doesn't have her wax on her, but that's okay, so she can base coat while we're doing this process, and she'll go back and do it after she's done, because you can do it first or you can do it last. Either way, it's okay. We're going to take...
Can you do it with kind of candle wax? Or?
Yes, you could do it with a candle. So if she had a candle around, she could use that, and it would be totally fine.
Well, Cindy, look at
Hold on.
Cynthia's. I'm sorry, but I'm seeing Cynthia's paint situation right behind her.
I know, isn't it beautiful?
Oh, jealous. It's beautiful.
So, Deborah, what were you saying?
I think all I got is red candles, so I don't think that'll work.
It probably would, but I would try it on the back so that if there's any red that comes off on the die. But I think it will work, because I don't think the red coloring in a wax candle will stain.
Oh.
But I don't know.
Interesting.
I usually use a white tapered candle, but I actually have candle that I used for another project. So the paraffin wax, I used for another project. Okay. So here's my surface. And I base coated it with I think 2 or 3 coats, but it's still kind of, get that going here. It's still kind of see-through, as you can tell, splotchy. And that's okay, because we're going to be covering it now. Take your wax, your paraffin wax, and what I'm going to do is just scratch it along like I'm coloring a coloring book, but not solid. So you just kind of scratch some colors up there. Make sure you get up on the edge, and it doesn't have to go all the way through all the time. But you just kind of wax your surface here and there. Not everywhere. You don't put it everywhere. I know, I repeat myself. I'm sorry.
Wait, what was that?
Yeah, I know.
No,
But
I like it.
the camera can see, right? I mean, you can see through the camera that I'm putting wax. All these lines here, that's all wax.
Are you intentionally making those lines, or are you just kind of randomly?
I'm randomly going,
So I could go like this.
just kind of, yeah, I'm just kind of going back and forth. I don't want it to look like a jailhouse, you know, zebra stripes or something, but I want it to look worn, so I might be a little thicker on the edges and a little thinner on the.
Are there going to be spaces where you don't have wax?
Yep, can you see it?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were trying to fill it in or not.
Nope.
Okay. You know what I have that I get a little collection of? I wonder if other people to collect these too. But when we do Easter egg dyeing, sometimes a little packet, kids packages of Easter egg. You probably don't use that because you have more professional level of stuff. But it comes with a little white wax crayon.
Oh.
It's this, but it's like in a shape. So you could draw on the Easter egg and then dye it, and then it will, So I'm thinking I could have used that. I know.
You could probably get away with using a crayon, actually. You probably could. Okay. I'm going to take a big mop brush and just brush off the excess wax.
I can't find it now.
Now, everybody's got that who's going to do that. I'm going to take some bleached sand. If you have bleached sand, if you don't, use a color that is very light and neutral, not white though. I would not use a white, but if you wanted to go with an antique white, that's a little more yellow rather than brown, but it will work fine. Something along that line. And put that on your palette. And I'll do about a quarter size. That over. And I'm going to take my 3/4 inch wash brush and pick up some of that color. And I'm going to always start from the outside in when you're doing edges, so you don't build up paint along that edge. And I'm going to just paint right over this, right over the wax. And I'm not being too careful as to the paint lines of the that I leave behind.
What's the brush that you're using?
My 3/4 inch flat.
Like this?
If you want to use your oval wash, you can do that too. I thought about it, and then I didn't. But always use the largest brush for the area you're painting. If you think about it, you're not going to use this little 3/4 to paint a house, right? You're going to use a big 3-inch wide brush or something to paint a house. So that's the same.
Do you want it to be thick for some reason? This, well, it's new, so this seems kind of thick.
I'm just kind of brushing it along, and like I do have splotches. I don't know if you can tell, but I have splotches where sometimes it doesn't take. thick and even, and it's okay. The goal here is we're looking to get something that looks weather worn. I'm not going to say barn wood or something, but you know, if you want to think about barn wood, it's weather worn. It's not new wood. It's not new siding. Kind of antique-y. So I just slap it on.
Okay. I have gone over the edge so many times now.
Well, start from the inside and work your way towards
Right.
outside.
I need to wipe that off though, huh?
You can paint over it later. I say don't do it just to save you a step from having to do that later. That's all.
Okay.
But if you do it, go ahead. No, you just go over it later. I wouldn't play with it though. Once you put the paint down, you get out of that area and move on to the next area. Don't
Now she's
do multiple coverage and try to make it solid. It's okay that if it's, see how splotchy mine is? It's okay that it's splotchy and that some of the background is showing through. Okie dokie, okie dokie. If you have a blow dryer and you want to blow dry it, I would say don't put the blow dryer too close because you don't want to melt the wax. You just want to dry the paint that's on top of it.
right.
Okay?
Are your nails black?
Yes.
Cindy
What?
Harrison, are your nails black?
Yes.
Wow, look at you. Funky.
Halloween. Okay, remember that test? If it comes off on your fingers, it's still wet. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is take my palette knife, and there's all different kinds of palette knives. If you don't have a palette knife, you can try like one of these little cards or a credit card or something, and you can scrape. See what happens? You scrape the wax off. So you can do it with a credit card or you can do it with a palette knife. Sometimes the credit cards work better.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. This plastic pellet knife is working fine.
Use this one. Now, if you don't have either of those, you can, or if you have them and they're not working for you, you can go and take your sanding disc, sandpaper, and you can use that.
I got this kind of thing going here. I love this.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, look at.
Look at you.
I know. So excited.
And I would typically not do it on my table because I don't like all the leftover paint dust. Isn't that neat?
Yeah. That is neat. You also sanded it a little bit with your sanding disc?
Well, I took off the rest of it with my sanding disc, yeah.
I'm gonna get my fancy sanding disc.
I forgot to put my, yeah, that's good. So make sure you kind of got all that wax off of there that you're gonna get off. And I believe I have. Yeah, I believe I got all the wax off. Now you're gonna place your, for those of you who are ready, place your line drawing down on your surface.
Look at you. I'm in tracing it.
Transfer on those lines. And I made my pumpkin line drawing so huge that I'm not even gonna see most of my background. Most of it will be hidden. Now, when tracing on your line drawing, all you need to trace on is the stem of the pumpkin, okay? Then the outside of the pumpkin. Right now, you don't need to put all those sections, all these sections in here, just the outside, okay? We don't need any unnecessary tracing lines at the moment. Then you're gonna trace the outside of this gourd.
Why am I tracing paper?
And then you're gonna trace the stem. Now this little separation line between what's gonna be yellow and what's gonna be green, if you wanna go ahead, you could trace that on, because we've got two separate fields of color here. You can trace on the outside of the leaves. But don't do all the veins. If I was doing this with an unlimited amount of time, like for myself, I would not trace on the leaves over the pumpkin. I would just take the pumpkin and paint the whole pumpkin on first. Then I'd paint the gourd on, then I'd put the leaves on. But we have a finite amount of time here. Before lifting off the paper completely, hold it down in 2 spots and lift the side to make sure all your lines show up and that you didn't forget any lines. So I've got my stems, I got my gourds, and I got 3 leaves. So now I can lift it off and know that, hopefully know that I've got it all there. Okie dokie.
I'm just excited. I usually freehand it, but since I've got this neat graphite paper now.
Fairy godmother delivers again, eh?
Yes.
Sanding with the wood grain. That's a good question, Deborah. Sanding with the wood grain. Well, you know, we're not sanding the raw wood. We're really sanding the wax off. So I still did it in that direction because that's the way my wood was cut this way. So I made the lines of the wax that way. So I guess I did it all in that direction. So it worked. I think I would sand in the direction that I put my wax on, I suppose. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna show you one other thing because I did it on a little tag as well. I didn't put as dark a coat of the antique green, so that's why it shows up more yellow. But on this side, I put weathered wood crackle medium. So I want to see what happens when I paint a coat of paint over the weathered wood crackle medium.
Quick question. Did you say that you didn't draw all the lines of the gourd, just the outside line?
On the yellow green gourd, I did one down the middle.
Mm. Okay.
To separate the yellow part from the green part.
Oh.
So we can't play too much with this. When you put paint on this crackle medium, you have to put it on and then bring it down, but you can't go back and keep playing with it because it will not work right. Oh my God, it's happening already. It's so awesome.
Oh.
I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the cracks? Let me see if I can,
No, I can't see it.
hold on. See them?
Yes, look at that. Ew. That does have that weathered look.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So the thicker the paint, the thicker the more cracks you're gonna get. But if I were to go back over this now, it would ruin it. It wouldn't work.
Is that the clear one or the white one?
Clear.
Neat.
This is this product here.
Weathered wood crackle medium. Okay.
So isn't that neat?
Yes.
So I can do the pumpkin on that because I made a little pattern that will fit on it.
So cute.
Okay, let's go back.
Oh, I'm really liking the way this is gonna look. I didn't put my pumpkin that high up. Let's do as high as yours.
It's up to you what you want to do with your pumpkin.
That might leave me some room for me to draw, to write something.
Okay.
Like fall. Something really original.
Yeah, like I said, I made mine so huge that I'm not going to have any space around there, and you hardly will see what my wax off is. Okie dokie.
All right.
I am going to base coat my pumpkin. Let's do some Canyon Orange.
Has anybody who's been here before noticed that I am caught up and on time and doing what Cindy's doing and not complaining? I'm saying.
For a change? Is that what
I
you're
know.
saying? Is that what you're saying? For a
I'm
change?
just saying I prepared today.
You got your water and your paper towels and
I've got everything. I even went through my brushes. The brushes. They're all your brushes.
your brushes.
Well,
Okay, I have this new brush. It is a 1/2 inch moon filbert versus my 1 inch champagne handled filbert. So the difference is, look at the length of the hairs.
you're
So
using the shorter one?
Yeah, this one is going to give me more control. I mean, I like the long one, but I thought I'm going to try this shorter one and see if I can get more control. So pick up my Canyon Orange and start to base coat. Now I'm seeing right away, guess what? This is a transparent color. So I am going to have to probably go to the yellow. Probably gonna have to go and base coat it with a moon yellow. Is not on the list, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, good. I'm gonna have to go to a moon yellow.
The only filbert that I have that's that size has really long, like, bristles.
Yeah,
You must have left them
that's
all with
okay.
you.
Use that one.
Here, I'll just hand them to you. Honey.
Use that one because I didn't have this new one. Is one I just picked up at the convention that I
That's
wanted
fine.
to start to try. So let's reevaluate that move. And because orange is such a transparent color, we are going to go over to our moon yellow and put a coat of moon yellow. And now you can put that actually, we're going to use that as a base on almost every single, I would use it almost on every single part of this piece, but let's do one element at a time because this way here we won't have to keep retracing our design on. So moon yellow, base our pumpkin. Less water if you're finding that it's still, you know, a lot of transparency happening. Sometimes it could be you have too much water, but It's also a light color going over a darker color. And you'll find when you want to have something a transparent color, if you put a color underneath underpainting, what we call underpainting, that has some white in it, it's dulled down by white or gray. It covers better, and then you can glaze those transparent colors on top and get a beautiful, beautiful coat of color. And these paint lines are just guidelines. Your pumpkin can be fatter, can be thinner, can be taller, can be shorter. Whatever makes you happy. Happy little gourds, happy little clouds, happy little.
You like this time of year, don't you, Cindy?
It has its charm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like being cold.
Oh.
That's the only thing.
You should move to California, just say
You got earthquakes, honey.
really.
Yes, not really. You don't really have earthquakes. They're a myth, everyone. There's no earthquakes in California.
I've survived an earthquake. I lost everything. I'm not crying about it.
You lost everything?
Pick up and keep going. Yeah, in the 94 earthquake, Lito and I were new. Well, we've been married a couple of years, I guess, 94. Just under 2 years. And we had an apartment. And we woke up to an earthquake and we thought we were going to die. It's pretty bad. Everything we had was broken. And we had to move that day. Our house, our apartment was red tagged.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you couldn't pay anybody to go in there and get your stuff because there were aftershocks. It was scary.
That is.
I'm not minimizing it. I mean, it's tragic. We were really fortunate in that earthquake that not a lot of people died. But, you know, you rebuild.
That is something.
I never buy crystal for gifts anymore.
Oh.
I still have all the silver people gave me.
I felt a few earthquakes up here in New Hampshire, but nothing that was. I think that the things that rattled my house more were a car bombing down the street.
Oh my gosh.
Shook the whole neighborhood. That was like, what in the heck was that?
Wow.
Yeah. Somebody lit a car on fire.
And it exploded?
It exploded. Yeah.
That happened to me. Somebody abandoned a car and left it and set it on fire across the street from our house.
Yeah, that's what happened here. They stole it and they drove it up from Massachusetts and lit it on fire. Scary as all heck.
Way over the line there, I think. It's weird. So, well, yeah, you know, the lady, Jan Martin, who I'm going to be interviewing on Tuesday night, from Writers, whatever that is. Anyway, when we first started making the arrangements, she didn't want to set a date because she had just moved to Florida, I guess, and they were having that big hurricane.
Oh, yeah.
She was so nervous. It was the first time. And I mean, that to me, tornadoes, I think, and hurricanes just freak me out because I've never really been in that type of severe storm. So I think it's the unknown that we get worried about.
Of course. I know I drove out to, I drove out to LA a few years back, probably like 10 now, but 11 years ago. And we stopped, as we're driving, of course, we stopped for the night. And all of a sudden I'm in bed and it's 11, 12 o'clock at night and the whole hotel starts to rumble. And Shauna, my oldest daughter, she's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, it's a train. I think it's a train." "It's a train?" I said, "Yeah, we had to cross over train tracks to get into the parking lot, so it's a train." She's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Well, my mother said that sometimes tornadoes sound like trains." And she started flipping out. "We gotta get up, we gotta move, we gotta check it." I said, "No, it's a train." I'm not moving for anybody. I drove 13, 14 hours. You know, I am not getting out of this bed. Not even a hurricane or tornado is going to get me out of this bed. So anyways, yeah, this oval brush is nice. It is the short-haired one, and it has more control of the paint, I think, than the long-haired oval, which is still a good brush. Don't get me wrong. I am still going to use my long-haired oval brush. I think I like it for the long-haired one for the background slip slaps when we do blended backgrounds. And this one is good to base coat big items. So my daughter is having a pumpkin race today. This man has a pumpkin farm that raises pumpkins that are hundreds and hundreds of pounds, like 500-pound pumpkins or something. And they're big enough for people to sit inside. So they hollow them out and they decorate them and they put them in the local river, brook, whatever. And someone gets in it and paddles it and has a race. I can't hear you. You muted yourself.
Isn't there a children's rhyme like that? Pumpkin.
Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater.
Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and couldn't keep her. Put her in a pumpkin shell, and there he kept her very well. And that's now your daughter's in the pumpkin shell?
Well, my daughter's not in the pumpkin shell. One of the parents of the children in her school are in the pumpkin shell.
Oh, the parent, though, that's like big enough for an adult.
Yep. Wow. A small adult.
So are you going to have pictures of this? Or is she going to post on Facebook?
She should have them on the website. Yeah. You should have them on the website. Okay. So I did about 2 coats on that, and I'm going to blow dry that.
Wow, this is exciting. Looks just like Cindy's.
Excellent.
Now, I am already heating up my glue gun. Probably don't need to have it on now, huh?
Your what?
My glue gun.
Oh, did you want to do that?
All right, well, that was on your supply list, the glue gun.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. I don't want to do it on my pumpkin, but I want to do it on the gourd.
Well, the thing of with the glue gun was, you see all these knobbies, all these raised knobbies.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
if you were to put some glue gun on here and follow kind of like the lines of the pumpkin, then you could paint over them and have these nodules on your pumpkin. And I thought that was kind of neat.
I think so too. I think for mine, it's the gourd, that two-tone gourd.
I love that one.
I can't believe I found this after I saw your picture with the line, and I knew, and I saw it and I thought, that's a real thing.
Yeah,
And it has all the bumpies.
it does.
I mean, that's not paint, ladies. That's a vegetable. Has so much character.
Mine is not as fat as yours.
Yeah, yours probably has that bulbous look. That's, yes. That is.
And then these veins are actually raised.
Hmm.
So if you look at it this way, see how they're actually raised?
Yes.
But we're not painting that way, but that's why I say you draw the line that separates the green from the yellow.
That one looks like a banana gone wrong.
It looks like, to me, it looks like a gourd. But that's what that's going to be.
You could use that one for a telephone. Hello?
We could just, yeah, right. We could just glue it right on there.
You sure could. The smiley face.
Yeah,
All right.
Gonzo. It could be Gonzo.
Oh my God. Yes. It is. That's Gonzo. Very funny, Cindy. Boy. Watch out, Marcel. Watch out.
Okay. If we're dry, now let's go over it with our Canyon Orange.
Yay. I'm excited. You want to find that one. Ow. I hurt my hand.
I see that. What happened?
I overdid it with the jewelry.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Repetitive,
Yeah, no, I just wore it out.
but you made beautiful jewelry.
I did. I'm not going to make any next week while we're gone. So hopefully I'll heal before then, but
You gonna bring a paintbrush?
nope. I'll probably bring my sketchbook.
Okay. Try to, when you're doing this, try to go in the motion or the
Direction?
how the pumpkin, you know, the strokes of what the pumpkin would grow as. That makes sense?
The direction.
There you go.
There we
I
go.
don't know why I'm having such a problem with my words today.
Did you have lunch?
Yes, I did. I brought lunch to my mother who was sitting at the booth with I brought lunch for my daughter too, sitting at the booth with my daughter.
Oh.
They made like, I don't know, hundreds of cake pops and they're almost totally sold out. And they were selling fresh hand collected honey, natural honey. Because one of her parents has a beehive colony of bees.
Mm-hmm.
So they collect honey and they can it, jar it, whatever you want to call it. This is kind of neat leaving it streaky because it, again, adds more character to the...
Well, I don't know why, but mine is not as thick as yours. It's not as transparent.
Oh,
But, you know, still doing a nice effect. It's Canyon Orange that we're using?
I am using Canyon Orange.
Okay.
But, you know, if you were using bright orange or something, you'd be fine too. But yeah, it is quite streaky, but it looks kind of cool. While that's drying, instead of using the blow dryer, let's go with a smaller brush and we're gonna paint this yellow part of the gourd here with the moon yellow. Neat, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And you can use a smaller flat or you can use a filbert, whatever you got. But obviously, again, one to fit the size area that you're painting. So this way we can keep moving.
I'm still painting my orange. Is everybody else still painting their pumpkin?
They're all on mute, so you can't hear them.
I know, I was looking for head nods.
Well, they're busy painting, Melissa. Silly girl.
Probably have me muted.
While that is drying, you can go over and we can do like the middle, see, my words totally gone.
The center line,
The leaf.
the leaf, the center leaf.
Yes. Yeah, I keep looking at the leaves up here, and I'll go by a tree and like it'll be a lot of yellow, and then the bottom leaves will have just on the peaks of the leaves red.
Um,
And no two are alike, just like snowflakes.
have you always lived in New Hampshire?
Yes.
Mm.
But I visited many states because I've always like wanted to travel around the country. Like, so funny because when my daughter said she wanted to go study out in LA,
Mm-hmm.
a film major,
Mm-hmm.
wanted to study out in LA, do an internship. And I said to my husband has driven across country a few times. And I said, well, do you want to go? And he's like, no, this is your opportunity. You've always wanted to drive cross country. He goes, now here you go, go.
There you go.
So I went. We're only 4 days apart, Melissa. I could see you in 4 days if I headed out.
Mm-hmm. Be here tonight if you got on a plane.
This is
Just
true.
saying. Oh.
Yes, this is true.
We were talking about states and how many states we'd visited. How many did you have?
39,
You had 39?
I think, didn't I?
I think so. No. 20. No, I don't know.
I had in the 30s. And we're going to do
18, counting Nashville, which is Tennessee, which is Wednesday.
I've been to, if you've ever heard of it, Gloucester, Massachusetts.
Nope.
Anyways, there was a movie scene that was actually filmed there. And they used my nephew's church to film one of the scenes at.
Oh, really?
Is it The Perfect Storm or something like that? Anyway,
Uh-huh.
so needless to say, they tell me that they on this island, because it is an island, on this island,
Man-made island.
they have a hospital, they have a post office, they have, all the stores they need. There are some people on that island that never, ever, ever left, have never crossed the bridge,
Oh, wow.
have never, ever felt the need to ever cross the bridge over to the mainland.
Huh.
And I'm like, I can't believe that. I can't.
And it's so close, right? I mean, it's not like it's...
And Boston's not that far away. And like, they don't go to a play in Boston. They don't go because they're fishermen. They don't go do stuff. Okay, this looks dry, so I'm going to put another coat on here.
Cindy, I'm from Gloucester.
Oh, cool. Have you heard that? Is it a true story, what I said?
Yeah, there are some people that have never crossed over the bridge, but Gloucester is a man-made island.
Oh, man-made island. Okay.
It was man-made when they cut the canal from the from like the bay over to Annisquam River.
Oh. But that shouldn't be the reason why they don't leave.
No, they're just comfortable.
It's my nephew was the priest over at the church there where they have the big circular window, and when they filmed that movie, that's in the back. That's like a backdrop to one of the scenes.
St. Anne's?
Yeah, maybe that's St. Anne's. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, so it's really, really cool. Okay. I'm debating whether I put another coat of the Canyon Orange on here or not, because I really like the way this is looking, but I think I will. I think I'll put another coat. And then after I do that, I'll go back to the leaf. So these are pretty colors. They have their, it's just the cold I don't like, but I like the colors. And if you get a chance, ladies, when you're done painting to, if you can put them on the Facebook page and share them, that would be just lovely. But if you can't, you don't know how, or you're not sure, you have the capabilities, send it to Melissa or I in a private message or an email, and we can
Yeah, we'll share it for you.
Yeah, we'll post it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So just putting another coat, and again, I'm following the direction of growth. I got my words back.
Yay.
And I'm using my oval, what they call oval moon brush, which is cool, with the golden Taklon. And for anyone interested, I have on my website, the brushes are on my website, and I have sets of brushes, like Cindy's basic brushes, which include 3 flats and a round and a liner. So that's the basic brushes. And
that's at cindyharrisonart.com.
And then I have 2 specialty brushes, and this is going to be in one of the specialty sets. But you should be able to do most everything you need to do with those flats and a round and a liner. I know some teachers that do everything with just a round. They don't even use flats and liners. Okay, so it's still kind of streaky, but I really like it, and I'm gonna just stick with that and go back over to this one and put another coat of yellow on that one. Yes, we are all working very consciously here.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, everyone, for coming. You really make the show much more fun for us.
Yeah, we have a great turnout today. It's so nice to see everybody.
And it's a beautiful day here in New England, New Hampshire.
Well, it's kind of, let's not complain about our weather, but it's not too clear today or sunny. A little bit of drizzle this morning.
I went and saw my daughter at the thing, and she was complaining it was hot, and I'm like, I like the sun.
Yeah.
I don't complain that it's hot.
Okay, so we went over that with the yellow.
Okay. What was that?
You're going over it again with the yellow.
Well, I got 2 coats of yellow on both of these. I think I'm just going to do one more here to cover that antique green that's showing through the wax a little bit.
And you just painted one of the leaves yellow?
Yeah, for right now. While everything else dried, yes. And while those are drying, if you'd like to go over to your stem on your pumpkin, we can paint that with mink tan. Sometimes you're not in the mood to paint. Sometimes you just can't float color to save your life. Well, that's the best time to do all your base coating, because base coating doesn't require a whole lot of thought process. I am going to use a round brush. And I'm going to go up in here. And pull up my stem. Did you put the glue gun on your pumpkin yet?
No.
Because you should do that. You should do the glue gun. If you're going to do those little nodules, you should do that before you paint.
Now she says that.
Oh.
No, my plan is to do it on the gourd.
Oh, okay. Do it before you paint the gourd.
Okay.
Okay. There's that.
My leaf looks very awkward, but okay. All right.
Yeah, well, they kind of do look awkward.
So I'm just gonna do some blobs.
Let's paint this back leaf over here with a Hauser medium green. And yeah, I stayed with my round brush to do that. I might have it too thin, but we can, thin's better than too heavy. You can go back and add more paint after.
Okay.
Notice that the Hauser has a little bit of blue in it compared to the antique green that's in the background.
Hauser medium? That was not on the list.
Oh, well then use the antique.
No, I have it.
What green was on the list?
Antique and plantation pine, antique green and foliage green.
Yeah, I have foliage green here too. Well, I'm gonna do it this way. Do it antique green and let's compare the difference.
Oh, okay. Check that one out.
I just want it to be different than the yellow leaf. And this leaf is going behind the pumpkin and behind the yellow leaf. Maybe I'll go back and base coat over that with the antique green if I don't like it. You just never know.
Cindy,
Yes.
do you ever know?
No, I don't.
Don't you ever know?
I think I do sometimes, but
I think you do.
sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't.
Sometimes you don't. Boy, that reminds me of my dad.
But so you feel like a nut sometimes?
Yeah, he used to sing that. He used to sing so many different commercials and stuff.
I swear, if they made education more like commercials, we would remember everything we were taught.
Well, did you ever watch Schoolhouse Rock?
I owned the tapes, yeah.
Love those.
I-
3 is a magic number.
Yeah, no. I like little 12 toes.
Oh, I got a bill. I'm just a bill.
I know. And then I live here on Capitol Hill. How about the other one? Conjunction, junction. What's your
function?
hooking up words and phrases and clauses? Lolly, lolly, lolly. Get your adverbs here.
Yep. I used to listen to those in the car.
What's
with
the
kids
other?
on trips.
What's the one where he's getting a shot?
Oh. Shot.
Remember that? Ow.
Oh. I think that's part of, oh no, it's like exclamation.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I used to like, yeah. Yep. Okay, my orange is still wet. And I really don't want to go on with that. But I'm gonna, my green dried because it was thin, so I'm gonna put another coat of green on. And then I'm gonna go and put on another coat of mink tan.
What? Are we going to do mink tan for the stem on the gourd too?
Yeah, but I'm gonna wait till after I'm done my pumpkin to do that one.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna go around it. I'm gonna go right through it. I went right through it when I painted the orange. Sometimes it's easier if you break down the elements and do them right through other elements first and then go back after. Okay. Now let's see where we're at. We have at least 2 coats on one leaf and the yellow part of the gourd, 2 coats on the green, and we have 2 coats of, is it moon yellow, and then 1 coat or 2 of canyon orange. Probably 2 coats of canyon orange. Okay. I'm gonna blow dry that. We could do, let's do, if you have the antique green out and you want to do this part of the gourd, you can do it in antique green. For me, I mean, I'm looking because I'm like a realist and I kind of, yeah, antique green. That sounds good. I'm looking at it and it's in there. So we're gonna go antique green on that part of the gourd. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I see. Okay.
Okay. Get all the orange out of your brush before you go pick that up. And probably get all the water out. And that line is not straight across, right? Kind of curvy. Okay. If I've lost anyone, feel free to unmute yourself and talk to me.
I'm not lost. I am concerned about what happened with my leaves.
Why?
Well, I guess I need to I'm going to have to go over and draw because I lost. I don't know what I did. I did something funky, but I'll be able to fix it, I think. I'm going to give it another coat.
Okay, my orange, I had really thick paint, so it's still wet, but I'm gonna blow dry it. And then what I'm gonna do is go back with the line drawing now and put those sections on your pumpkin. And I was just thinking, if you're gonna do that, you might wanna wait until you do a second coat of antique green on there, and then you can put the separation lines, the segment lines on both gourds, because a pumpkin is a gourd, right?
That's right.
So we can put another coat of this on here, and then we'll put the line work on both at the same time.
I'm dealing with these tiny little glue lines, glue strings.
Glue line?
Well, you know, the little glue strings from hot gluing.
Oh, you're putting the glue. Okay.
Well, I put the glue on.
Yeah.
And now as I'm painting, it looks like little hairs, but I'm getting them.
You can do like an eraser and rub it over.
Yeah.
So as my husband says he's coming down with a cold, and I'm like, please don't share it with me.
Oh, no, 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 no.
I don't want to go to Nashville with a cold.
Just flying with a cold is horrible.
Okay. Antique green is a transparent color, so I think we're going to end up doing like 3 coats.
Yeah.
So lesson learned here, we could have underpainted it with the moon yellow and then put the green on top. That's what you get. This is going to be cute, adorable. You can hang it on your wall outside your front door or in your kitchen, your living room. Put it on a box. Give it as a gift to your best friend.
Unless they already have one.
Because they painted it themselves. But you don't have mine.
We could trade.
You could.
You don't want mine though.
You don't know that. I haven't seen it yet. If you go over the line, wash it off with a clean brush. Easy peasy. Okay. Yada, 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 yada. This is so cool. See all those cracks?
Yeah. Crackling.
So the thicker the paint, the bigger the cracks. I don't do Crackle well, so that's like, oh my God, I did it. It's awesome. That's because I slathered on the Crackle medium. So, let's say for people who are going to be doing the ornaments with us, one ornament we're going to do is we're going to have fabric. And we're going to decoupage fabric onto a surface and paint the design on it. Another one is going to be, I think, a spoon.
Mm-hmm.
I show you the spoons I have.
Yeah, silver spoons.
So we bent so we have the bowl of the spoon. So I'll be doing at least one or two of those. And I'm gonna have the whole bag of them. So I'll put those on my website. If anyone needs a spoon. We have mini canvases. We can do something like this.
Let's see. Oh my gosh. I know that's adorable, but at first I thought it was a clown.
No.
Scared.
I know his ears are too big for his head probably, but
That's adorable.
so you can do something like that, which is fun with the chenille and a styrofoam ball and some clay, some modeling clay.
Very cute. Leave us alone. You want to see my bumpy gourd?
Okie dokie.
Look at this, Cindy.
Hold on, let me spotlight you.
Just don't look at the leaves.
Oh, cool.
So far,
That's neat.
kind of gross, but if you look at this,
Yes, it is. And blow dry your surface and put the line drawing over it and see what you did wrong with your leaves.
yeah. So I gotta do mute
So,
myself.
Who else is painting with us who would like to show us where they are at this point? Oh, okay. Ophelia, hold on. Unmute. Okay, show us. I'll spotlight you. Oh, cool. Oh, look at that. I love it. And on the pumpkin stem, you can bring it down into the pumpkin. So
Okay.
I'll show you on mine. So see how I bring it down into the pumpkin? It's not resting on the top,
Yeah.
ending there, it's in it.
Okay.
Awesome. Let's see. Now let's go. Deborah, you wanna,
Oh. I've only got this far done.
oh, that's beautiful. Yep, you're with us. You are with us. Cynthia, I didn't unmute you yet. And spotlight you, show us what you're doing. Oh, it's one of those noodle boards. Oh my God, that looks awesome.
I cannibalized it.
You did an excellent job. What is that?
When
A
I
bear?
first started, yeah, from 2006.
Repurpose. Hey, honey, it works. But that's awesome. And look at your beautiful paintings behind you, too. And the apples.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here today.
Me too.
So glad everybody's here today. It's a beautiful day to be painting. So everyone is doing an awesome job. Did I get it? Penny, are you painting with us?
I'm actually just observing today. I actually thought I missed this. For some reason, I don't know. I thought I read on Facebook last night that it had already taken place, and I do sometimes work on Sunday. So this was like a surprise. I've been in the kitchen cooking all day and suddenly just kind of looked and I said, oh my God, it was like 2 minutes of 3. So I said, yippee for me. So I am just watching, but thank you. I do appreciate all you do, Cindy. It's great. It's a
Oh,
pretty project.
thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. And I hope that you one day can actually sit and paint with us.
I actually would. I did. We were talking about trees though, and I don't know if I can even do this. Maybe not, but I'm sitting in front of my living room window, and if you can see,
It's beautiful out there.
like, yeah, it's and that orange tree, it gets so red and so orange, it's beautiful. I think I have a picture from it from the past 25 years. Every year I take a picture. It really doesn't do it justice at this point, but it is beautiful. And you know, looking out the window, it's just gorgeous to look at. So anyway, I can share that with you.
Well, it's an inspiration because yes, that tree is beautiful. That is a blessing to be able to look out your window and just admire Mother Nature like that. That's
Absolutely, yes.
okay. So I'm going to go back to spotlighting me, and we should be dry. So I'm going to put my lines back on. And this is when you can tell if you messed up on your how big your paintings have grown. On the right way. Make sure you put your graphite in the right way, because Lord knows I've done that wrong before. Take your stylus and put in those separation lines. And if you go to a pumpkin farm and you look at their pumpkins, they're not always the most beautiful things in the world either. I'm going to draw just one line for each of these lines on this gourd. I'm not going to draw the center vein lines on the maple leaves just yet. So hopefully you can see. If you can't see, it could be because your paint wasn't dry. I have got glitter. That glitter is one of those things that keeps on showing up. So if your lines don't show up, and as you see, I removed it, so now I have to realign it, and that's what I told everyone not to do before. But if you go like this and you don't see the lines, it could be because your paint wasn't dry enough. So.
Come here.
Here.
Oh, sorry. Roman's talking to me.
Oh. So put on those lines. I hate to press too hard, but I need to see them, kind of. Much better. Let's go do the ones on here. The yellow showed up, but the green did not. Much better. Yep, got it. Okay. Now, with pumpkin, we're going to go to the next color, which is burnt orange. And this is where I do side loads. So if you are not an expert at side loading, for some newbies, I will show them what side loading is. There's a, see the gloss on the hairs of my brush? If I tap it to the, see how it disappeared? Then we flip it over, tap it down till that gloss disappeared. You see it disappear? You're gonna pick up on the corner of your brush some of that paint, that burnt orange, and I'm going to draw a short, probably a 1-inch line. I still have a lot of water in my brush. As you see how it's bleeding out? So there's still a lot of water, so I can go in and take more of that water out. Go back into that same puddle, because that's where my paint is. And I'm going to work my paintbrush by flipping it over, making sure that the paint part of the hairs are always touching the paint puddle until it starts to fade away and give a nice gradation. Then I come over here, and this is a center one. So let's go against the center first. Start at the bottom. I pat and pull, pat and pull. So I'm always lifting off my surface. Put it down, lift off, put it down, lift off, put it down, lift off. So, and I can come this way too. If it's too dry, you just pick up a dot of color, go back into that puddle and pick up some more paint. See how I'm doing that? So pick up some more paint, put it right against that line that you created with the tracing, and end it at the top. You go over, just wipe it off with a clean part of your brush. So see that? So what I'm going to do is reload my brush. Pick up some more and work my brush out again.
Which orange are you using?
That is the burnt orange. Now I'm going to go to the next line. Start at the top, work my way down to the bottom. Pat, pull, pat, pull.
Oh, we need to do the lines.
If I have to draw up, I'll draw up, but try to move it so that when you do that from the bottom, you don't go over the yellow. You want to stay on the orange part. So move your brush here so that you stay on the orange part. And I'm going to keep doing that until I get all the sections done. I'm on the right side of each line right now.
Did you go over with and draw your lines in the pumpkin?
With
again?
the tracing, yeah, I put the tracing paper on there and I transferred on those separation lines. Yep.
Okay. I missed that when I was fixing my leaves. Oops.
If you go over your gourd, just wipe it off with a clean part of your brush. Here's another trick. You can always reshape it by coming up with the chisel edge of your dry, wet dampened flat brush. See? The next one. So when I go to the back areas, I might have to go to a smaller flat, these back ones here. Pick up less paint. I'm gonna keep it to the outside of my brush. And I'm gonna go in and do those. And go over here. I'm going to go this way and this way, so let's put that one here. And I'm still on the right side of those two lines in the back. Wipe off the excess. So now we have 3 segments on this side we haven't done yet. Flip our brushes over. I know this is a lot of side loading, but this really makes them look like they are. Each segment is rounded. Each segment is a round. I'm going to turn mine upside down and I'm going to go to the left of the line if it was looking at it straight on, upside right. So if I'm looking at it straight on, I'm on the left side of the line. I'm going to go on the left side of the line there as well. So you want to make sure that you don't have a makeup line. You're not painting a line of burnt orange. You're painting a side load. It goes from dark to medium to light. You see there's color there, but you don't know where it ends. So if you're narrow, if you're not seeing a lot of that color, I would go back in and make it a little thicker. Like I said, if you go over into your other areas, wash it off with a clean brush. I'm going to blow dry that and erase the graphite lines that I didn't cover. I'm noticing I just lifted off some paint here, and it's probably because I didn't get rid of all the wax, so it came off with it. That's funny. Sort of kind of funny, because I know I can go back and fix it. So if it happens to you, you just go back and put some of that paint on. So we can go back with lemon yellow. if you need to. Neat tan. Bring that neat tan right in there. Easy peasy. Okay. Yes, now. We're just going to keep building on this. I'm going to now do the opposite side of that front piece. Again with the same color, but that will be the end of the shading for this front piece. Need it at the top. We'll need it here at the bottom. Put a little bit in the middle. But that's it for that middle piece. The next thing on the middle piece will be highlights.
When you're saying middle piece, you're talking about the pumpkin or the middle,
The middle section of the pumpkin. The middle section of the pumpkin. Now I'm gonna, the piece that's to the left, I'm gonna go against the middle piece to the right of that, to the left of that line. And you're not gonna see it. You're gonna then say, well, now the two pieces look like they attach each other. Well, they do, but we're gonna fix that in a second. Okay. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Let's go down to this leaf. We're just gonna we're just gonna go down to this leaf and do a little bit. Now, if you want to pre-wet and stay only on the leaf, don't go off on the outside of the leaf. Pre-wet this area of that leaf. You can take your brush that is side loaded, but you don't have to work so hard at it, and you can then go right over that leaf and add some orange. And then with your fancy dancy mop, wherever that is, you can then mop it out. You see it happen?
Oh my God, that's beautiful. Yes.
Pre-wet and then put that side load there and mop it out. Okay. Let's add a little bit of that burnt orange just where the pumpkin touches a leaf.
Okay.
And again, if it's easier for you to take your other flat brush and do a soft coverage of water, for people who don't float well, you can take that and then by having placed that water there, it helps the brush and the paint on the brush to float out gently. You see that? Oops, except for when you touch it. So that's gonna set the pumpkin back behind the leaves. I think we need to do a little bit more on that one. Okay.
Mm.
How are we doing? We ready for the next color? I hope.
Yeah.
The next color is Heritage Brick. This color, we're going to do the same side load, but what's going to happen is you're only going to do it on the outside. Here's the middle section. You're going to go to the left and right of that middle section and do it against the middle section. You're going to do it this way. You're going to do it that way. You see what I'm saying? So you're not putting it on the middle section. You're doing it on the other sections over top of what you've already done. So here's my middle section. I'm going to go on the right pedal, on the right pedal, on the right side of the middle section, right down to the gourd. And it's narrower. It's not as, shouldn't be as wide. If you need to size down your brush, size down your brush. You see how that's happening? If you feared that your burnt orange isn't wide enough, go back and put a wider burnt orange. I put a lot of pressure on my brush to get that paint to do what I want it to come off the brush.
Mm.
Don't hesitate to pick up your piece and move it around to mold it to your comfort zone, not mold you to its comfort zone. That's the difference. And then go to a smaller brush, obviously, to do those back ones. You can also do the same thing with that color on your leaf. Keep it off, keep it on your leaf and off of the white area. Take that corner of your brush and that color. And now we can go in and add it to our leaf. Walk it down a little bit. Take our mop. Mop it away.
What color is that last line on the pumpkin?
Heritage Brick.
Oh, heritage. Brick.
I'm going to put that heritage brick on the, actually I'm going to go, sorry, with the moon yellow. I'm going to do some moon yellow up here. On the green leaf. Knock that out. And then on this part here, pre-wet that. And let's do some. Okay.
What color should I use if I do not have brick red?
Heritage brick.
Heritage brick. What color should I use if I do not have heritage brick?
What color do you have?
I'm reading the question from Deborah.
Oh. Well, say that, because I'm like, could have sworn I sent you some heritage brick.
Sorry.
Red iron oxide? Maybe some red iron oxide would work.
Let's
Let's see. Rookwood red is a little darker. Do you have a Rookwood red, Deb?
No.
Napa red is too red. This is more of a brown, orange, orangey brown red. So if you had a Rookwood or what did I say? Rookwood would be a little darker. Do you have antique maroon? You can unmute yourself. Where are you? I'll find you. Okay, Deb.
No, I don't have that one either.
You don't have antique maroon either?
No, I do have some type of maroon, but I can't remember what the name of it was.
Okay. You said you had Napa, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me play. So this is Napa, and that's where I want to be. So you see how this is more orange?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're looking for, is that orange. So you have burnt orange, correct?
Yes, I do have burnt orange.
Let's see what happens when I mix some burnt orange in with some of the Napa. Ooh, look at that. Oh, can you see it?
Yeah.
See how it's really close to that?
Right.
So probably a little bit more burnt orange. And I think you're there. I think you're there.
Okay.
Can you see how it looks very similar?
Yep.
So I would say 2 drops of Napa to say 1 drop of burnt orange to begin with,
Okay.
and see what that gives you. And then to make an antique, I would add maybe something. Well, you start with that. Go ahead and do that. And let me see what I can make help you with this antique maroon color. Can I mix to create that one?
So have you heard about that book, As You Wish by Carrie Elwes?
Carrie Always.
Yeah. He wrote it about a year ago. But now it's coming out in paperback. And he's doing a book tour. So he's been appearing around town to sign books at little bookstores. And Lito had bought the book, and he really wanted to go yesterday to see him in Pasadena, a little bookstore. So he went online to kind of get more information, and he found out that you have to buy the book in order to get it signed. And he already had the book, and he didn't want to buy another one.
Oh.
So he didn't want to go after that. So then he's like, well, and I said, well, we could buy another copy of the book and give it as a gift or something. So he got kind of excited again because he, really wanted to go. Then he read that you can't take pictures, posed pictures. He wouldn't pose for pictures.
Interesting.
So at that point, Lito's like, forget it.
Okay, Deborah.
Yeah.
Napa Red plus, what do we do? Plus burnt orange.
Right.
Now, that's going to give you the heritage brick. With the antique maroon, what you're going to do is add a little bit of the burnt umber
Okay.
and a titch of the midnight green.
Okay.
And look at it. It looks just, that puddle here looks
Mhm.
just like that puddle there.
Yep. Okay.
Awesome.
I went rogue on my side loading.
So hold on a second. Let's spotlight you so you can show us.
It's still
Look at you. That's beautiful.
it's I'm happy with the way it looks. I
It's-
really am.
It is. And you got the nice little nodules on your gourd.
I tried to make them like lumpy
You did it.
and not like a pickle.
Right. Yeah. We're not making pickles here. No pickles.
So yeah, okay, got a little more to do.
So let's see.
And I just totally failed on the leaves. My leaves did not come out like yours at all. When I did, I had to wipe it off.
Oh, that's okay.
I know. I need to see you do it again.
Okay.
It's a brush or the years of experience or something.
Yeah, it's a brush. It's all a brush. I am going to get some more paper towels.
All my brushes.
Let's
today.
see. Okay. Let's take some of the, I'm going to take my smaller flat, like a 12 or 14, with that antique maroon color on a very small side load. And this time I'm only going to go in the deepest, darkest corners. And that means I work better with it upside down. And I'm going to pull it away. But what I'm going to do is twist it so that I'm twisting the water end of the brush around to that section line. See if I can do it this way. I started flat, and then I twisted the water end of the brush around to meet the line. Did you see how I did that? I swooped.
Wow.
If you can't do that, go up flat like this, and then wipe back the edge here. Make it a little bit more clear. Okay, so I'm going to put it against the corner, and I'm going to swoop it around so that ends parallel to that line.
Yours actually looks like a pumpkin. I mean, it really does.
You can reshape it
Really
with
does.
some water. Would it be wrong to go all the way up the side? Probably not, but it would just not have the same effect because then everything again would be uniformly dark. You know what I'm saying? So by building up the different darks at different lengths, it gives that look of,
Which is the dark one that you're doing?
I'm now doing antique maroon.
Antique maroon. I just want to let you know it is 2 o'clock here,
Aha, we've been here too long.
5:07, and still have some
Okay,
stems to do.
so let me So basically you're going to do the same like that to the top sections. I showed you how to color your leaves, so just add different colors. If you want to take some of and do different layers there, you had the red on the outside, you can go in with the dark on a side load and just do one side with a side load and play with that. This guy here, I am going to pre-wet, clean water. Take my round brush and put out some fresh Canyon orange. And while that's pre-wet, I'm going to touch down. It's like dabbing motion and touch down some of that Canyon orange. It's not a smooth line work. It's dab. And if it's not wet, you might have to go back and add some more water. Have that color on. You're going to do the same on this area. And you got to keep going over it because sometimes it absorbs the water so fast. And I'm going to add some of the moon yellow. You can almost do it like we did the enamel bowl in our apple piece as well. Put that in there. Is that you?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Why is he always hitting me with this stuff?
If your lines don't fade away, kind of get blurry, it's because you don't have enough water. I'm going to quickly go in. Do we have dome brushes or dry brushes, moon brushes, whatever brushes you have that are a hard, like a pig bristle, very hard bristle? I'm going to take some cad yellow, which is the very bright yellow. And with a dry brush, which means you don't wet your brush, load your brush dry and wipe it off on a paper towel, you can come in and you're scrubbing your surface with this brush in this color and add a highlight down the center of your center segment, making the middle part a little wider and narrower to the top and bottom. You can then scrub some of that color on the outside of each section here. And I would keep it high. Don't bring it down low. Keep it the top 2/3. If you want to do a side load on them, you can do that too. But just for time and ease, I'm doing it with the dry brush. And I think it looks quite fine. So keep it to the top, the upper third, 2/3. Depending on which segment you're working on. See that?
What color did you use?
That is the cad yellow.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Wipe off on the paper towel so you don't have too much on your brush. And you can touch a little bit on the back pieces, but I'm not too worried about them. Make sure that you're, if you want to, don't do that. Okay, this one here. We need to highlight this guy. And we also need to shade him. But if we do the highlight first, take your cad yellow, because it's on your brush and you need it dry. And pretend this is a little bit of a round area and it goes like a pear, pear, and then it has a waistline and then it gets bulbous again. And I'm just going to put a little bit of the yellow right in there if you want to carry some of that. And I'm staying to the top 3, in the center of the top 3 lines. Because this is going to come around here. And I'm staying between the 2 lines here, going over that line. You can go over those 2 lines a little bit and brighten them up. You can actually brighten these other lines up too. But that highlight is going to be following the curve of this gourd. Maybe make it a little bit lower. That's happening. Now, over here, I'm going to call quits on the dry brush. Okay. We're going to take, what do we say, plantation pine? No, that's not it. Did I say plantation pine and midnight green?
Plantation pine.
Because I'm on the list that I sent out was plantation pine.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, then plantation pine it is. Let's go and put out some plantation pine. And you have your 3/4 inch flat brush, side loaded with the plantation pine. And we're gonna do bottom, right over that yellow stripe that you put there. Bringing it up. To about 3 o'clock. So it goes up to about 3 o'clock, and you can make it wider and go over the second yellow line, because that area is going to be it's quite rounded. If you want to add a very narrow load of that color to this top piece, I would start about, if you're looking at that and that's a clock, that would be 12. Just to round that out. But this is very narrow. You don't want to go down too far with this one. On this one here, yellow is always tricky. Do I have an antique gold on the palette?
No.
No, okay. Let's pick up a little bit of the let's see what happens if I do. It's either going to be a green like an avocado, the antique green, or it's going to be this burnt umber, but very, very faint. I put this down here. That's kind of good. Let's go with the burnt umber. Very, very faint. Put that there, mop it out. And it gives it an earthy tone. And I'm going to put it on the top a little bit too. So I put it at the top here and here, but not in the dip. So while you're working around, you can always add colors to your leaves.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, Cindy.
Hmm?
This is so much fun.
Well, it's coming along. I think it's fun. It's just, I know it's a lot of side loading for some people, but I think that that's what makes the gourd come alive. My gourd has a lot of the orange between the yellow as well as up the line. So I'm going to put a little bit of that canyon orange kind of against the green. There's a lot of water in my brush. But that kind of softens that edge. Okay. Let's see. We've got the highlights and the shades and the pumpkin. We've got the stem. If you go to a smaller, your smaller flat, and you do the side load, load your brush on the side with the burnt umber, and you can go into the crevices where the base of the stem is in the pumpkin. You can put that on there. And then I would go up the right side. And you can take your round brush or your liner brush with some of that color and do like lines. Wash the top. See how that kind of probably a little thicker than you want them to be, but give it some interest. This leaf behind the pumpkin, I'm going to go ahead and base that with the, what color was that? Heritage Brick. We'll make that one the red leaf. So this has been, hello. This has been a little bit more involved than the other ones. Because of the multi-layers that it takes to build on. But basically that's what you're looking for with still lifes and any kind of realistic painting. You kind of want to build on it slowly. Each element you build slowly with several layers of darks and several layers of light.
Okay.
Do you want to do a spotlight on people, Melissa, and see where everybody's at?
Sure. Okay. So let's see. Does anybody want to show what we've got so far? And I'll unmute everyone.
I think I have to do it at my level in order for it to show up on the camera, maybe.
No, I just haven't done it yet. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Ophelia's ready. Oops. There she is. So there's Ophelia.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm going to unmute everybody. Whoops. Okay.
I love her sections. You see how she separated her pumpkin section?
They sure did. Looks great. It really looks good.
And the detail on the gourd is awesome.
Mm.
Cool. Thank you, Ophelia. Lovely.
Okay. Does anybody else want to show? Let's see who else we have. Cynthia, Deborah. Cynthia's gonna show. Okay. Look at that.
Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I love how the leaves are coming out too. I love the pumpkin sections and the gourd detail.
Very nice.
I love her background too. It's really cool. Very nice. Very
I
nice.
like that. I like the heart at the top.
I know, huh?
I noticed that when I picked it up and I thought, oh, Cindy will like this.
Yes, I do.
Paint with heart. Paint with heart. Okay, Deborah. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Very nice.
Oh, I love it. Oh yeah.
And she's got her wood grain going the other way. That's nice.
That's okay.
Very nice. Yes.
I think it's coming out awesome.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
That's really cool. So
It's more shading, but
when you on the blue parts of your gourd, hit the tips of them with a light the yellow.
oh, okay.
Just the tops. Don't scrunchie all of it, but just the tops.
The cad yellow, you think?
Yeah. Or you can do moon yellow first and then cad yellow second.
Hmm.
It's nice because it almost self-shaded,
Yes.
those bumps.
Yeah. It did a self shade because as I went over it, kind of, I don't know. It got drippy. It was fun.
It's
You know,
good.
it's pretty.
Thank you.
Pretty.
Okay, so you know what we should do? Let me see. I'm going to make my gallery view and get my camera ready. Let's see. This way. And if everybody can hold theirs up.
Hold on. Let me.
And if you don't have a picture to hold up, just smile and wave.
Let me do my thing here, Melissa.
Okay. Look at that. Smile. Very nice.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes. Fun, Cindy. So much fun.
Awesome. So I don't know what color your stems are for the gourd. If you want to do bring the green in, you can bring the antique green in on the thing. The foliage green can come in. It should have probably been the highlight here first, and then my thing's a little wet. Let me get a dry one. A dry brush, you can actually kind of bring some of that in here too. And then some on your leaf. So that's where that can go. What was antique green, right? There it is. I think I would do the stem for your gourd with antique green. You have to do the moon yellow first. Give it a base. Tuck in that moon yellow to give it the base.
Cindy, you have to flip your camera.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am so used to watching her.
You
Also-
didn't say anything.
I'm sorry. You know what? I had to stand up. I've been sitting too long.
Okay.
I'm standing up and I'm kind of, I don't know, trying to get a little organized.
Well, if anyone has to go, then, you know, you have to go. But if you don't, I'm just going to stay here and keep working on this because I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm so close to being done. I want to finish.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm going to go back and these lines here, I just want to punch up the color. So I'm going to tack in some cad yellow over that moon yellow. Always pre-wet. And don't draw the line, dab it in. Because they're not perfect. Right, Melissa?
Oh, right, Cindy. You know, nothing is perfect.
Nothing is perfect.
And the less perfect you try to make it, the better it looks, I think.
Yeah, I like that better. Do you like that better? I like that better.
I just like how crisp and really nice your leaves came out. I tried 3 or 4 different times and I couldn't do it. I'm gonna try one more time and then I cover it all and start again.
A flat brush.
Yeah, I'm just not happy with the way my leaves came out.
Down here. Much better. Okay, so if this is dry, now I can go back over that with the antique green. No, and I should probably, I should have probably not done the Hauser medium. I probably should have made this antique green, although I think the leaves are more Hauser. But if we come in with this color, it will then marry the rest of the piece together.
Here's Cindy putting the final touches on her beautiful fall still life. Sorry, doing some Snapchatting.
Yay! Yes,
There's mine.
leaves can grow.
And there's mine.
Hmm?
Oh, I was Snapchatting,
Oh, okay.
showing my painting and my messy desk and all that paint. And I think I used almost every one of my brushes.
But you don't have that many brushes, so.
No, well, let me put it this way. I set aside the ones I thought I was going to use, and I used all of those.
There you go.
So, let's see.
I like how that looks. I like the fact, okay, so in designing, those that are into designing or want to be into designing, orange is the biggest element here. So that's the overall color. But what I have to do is I brought some orange down here. I brought some orange down here. What I could do is try to tack in some orange, repeating color and allowing your little ladybug to hop around from area to area. I can add some orange now to the tip of this leaf that was yellow, right? See how that popped in? And then you got this, and then you got that. If this is dry, I can add some of that canyon orange onto this piece. And it won't be so terribly noticeable, but it will be there. It's a hint of that orange, as there is the orange. Ooh, because that wasn't totally dry.
The orange ooh?
The red, my red leaf wasn't totally dry when I hit it with the paintbrush. So let's go back with the orange. And over here, where there's no orange over here, I can actually add a little bit of an orange. Now, do you really see it? No, you have to go like this to see it, right? But it does add a little bit of that cohesiveness going around my piece. The only color I see right now that isn't repeated necessarily around my piece is this brown. It's kind of a standalone up there by itself. I'm going to add some heritage brick on my gourd over here. Add it over here. And again, with that mop brush, wherever it is here, tap that out. I've got heritage brick here and here, and it's all in there. So I don't have to worry about that too much. So the green goes around, the reds and oranges go around. And that's what makes a nice harmonizing design. So when you start looking at other people's designs, you'll now know why you don't like them or why you do like them. Because they repeated their color and they have a balanced design. Somebody's calling.
Yeah, someone's calling. Not familiar phone number.
Yeah, I'm getting political calls because I live in New Hampshire. So that's what I get. If you feel you need to bring some of that darker color up, I'm trying to be very cautious on how much of that color I carry up. But you can go back to the heritage, the third color, and make that darker if you want. So let's see, I'm going to put some of this in here. I'm going to put some here. Some here. Definitely always evaluate your piece as you're painting it and decide where you need some more highlights or some more shading. Not everywhere, but just a smidgen here and there makes it either pop or not. So on this leaf, we can come in and we put the heritage brick there. So now we can highlight it. You can add some moon yellow on this section. Too much water in my brush. And that will then separate it from the pumpkin. Now it shows up. Before it wasn't showing up because it got the same value next to the same value. Now that shows up. We still have this guy to highlight in shadow, shade and highlight. So we can do the plantation pine, and I would do that against the gourd. And down one side.
So, Cindy,
Yep.
I'm gonna, how much longer do you think you're gonna be here? Are you planning on?
If you have to go, hun, you can.
I don't want to leave, but I do need to go downstairs and check on Roman.
Go down and check on Roman.
Here I'm cleaning the kitchen, which is a wonderful thing.
That's nice, yeah.
His girlfriend is coming over and they're gonna make pizza mugs.
Pizza mugs.
Yeah, she's got a recipe for making pizza in a mug.
Wow, that would be interesting to see.
Yeah, so I want to make sure that he has everything he needs. So I'll be back in a little while. I'm not going to turn off my computer or anything, but I am going to just turn off my microphone.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
So I just took antique maroon and I put it against the yellow. And I'm going to put it over here underneath this gourd. Just because the other two are on top and we want that to recede. We wanted to pull, we put that light value here because we wanted to pull this part of the leaf forward in front of the pumpkin. But down here, we want to put it behind the leaf and behind the gourd, so we add a darker color to it. I'm going to add a little bit of a cad yellow highlight to the top of the stem here. And that will be done. So basically, we have our leaves to do. If you wanted to ground this piece and give it something that it's on top of and not floating in the air, you can take burnt umber. Take some burnt umber and go underneath the gourd and the leaves and brush it away on a horizontal fashion. And that will be like it's on the ground. I don't know if you can see it very well. I should do it with a bigger brush. So I'm going to go up underneath each leaf. And if you need to go in with a smaller brush to get into some of those crevices, but go under each leaf, go up into that separation, walk it out. But when I do this, when I get down below the peak, I can wash it across my piece. And it can get darker. I just ran out of some paint and I gotta go get some more paint. Follow that line across, know where that line is, where you end up. And I go horizontal, my table, my ground, everything, my horizon line, everything is horizontal on my surface. Oh, it can be a little higher, not too low. It can be a little higher on one side than the other. So there's that. You want to do a highlight on your stem? We can go with the bleach sand. And I'm just going to chop some highlights in there. Tap it down. The bleach sand can be like the top highlight of most of the elements. I wouldn't do too much of it, but let's see. Any questions so far? Everyone just following along. I'm going to take some plantation pine. No, yeah, that's right. Plantation pine, and I'm going to tuck this on the bottom of this green leaf. And against the pumpkin. Mop that out. And don't hesitate to go over, even with if you're using the same color over and over. By every application of that color that you put on there, you've deepened it. So I did moon yellow, cad yellow, canyon orange, and a little bit of the heritage brick. And you can even take your fine liner brush with the antique maroon or whatever dark color you want to use, and you can outline just the tips if you want to give it a little bit more definition. So isn't that fun? I imagine I hear you all say, yeah, that's awesome. And even if it's the same color, you didn't cover all that white, the bleach sand background, you can go in and add some of that. Let's see, now on this one here, we can go in. We've got some orange, we've got some red. We have some green, but we can add more. If we put in some antique green, because we have green on both sides, so we can add some more antique green to balance that out a little bit. We can even put some up here where the pumpkin is. Now there's supposed to be veins coming down that. So we can do what we call back to back. You put some color on what would be the vein line on one side, flip it over, and then put the color on the other side. You pre-wet it, it'll be softer. Mop that out. See how that's happening? When that's dry, you can bring it down this way. And you can bring it that way as well. But I'm just showing my impatientness of wanting to not keep you guys longer than I told you I would. But I hope you're enjoying this, because it is just not a 2-hour project. And it's hard sometimes to just regulate 2 just keep it to 2 hours when we're having so much fun. Put a little bit more Canyon Orange, lighten that up. I don't want to put the orange up here because this is orange and I don't want it to fight with that. But I can put it over here. Let's see what else. If you have, well, I know Deborah has the Napa red. That's a little brighter red, or a colonial, sorry, in a country red or something like that. You can maybe brighten up that area with some red. It's too close to the value of the pumpkin, but you know what? I think it'll be fine. And then you can always put that color over here. Whatever color you introduce, whatever shade of red you introduce, yellow, orange, green, make sure that you tuck it in other places. I can go in now with that red and I can go and say, okay, let's tuck a little bit right here. We can put a little bit over here. And I can even put some on my stem just to tone it down a little bit. So that's how you do that. Whatever color you introduce, make sure that you place it in different parts of your painting, and then it will look like it belongs. Let's see. If we take our fine liner brush, for instance, in this case, I'll take some of the foliage green, which I think is, now that I look at it outside the bottle, probably a little too bright, but you can draw a vein. For your leaves, so it shows up, make secondary veins. With this one, go ahead with the antique green. And I know I didn't put color on that side, but we can do that. I'm going to curve it a little bit. And then I'm going to draw my secondaries. You have some water in your brush. The paint tends to travel longer, farther, easier.
Cindy, what color did you base the leaf that's under the gourd?
That one, I believe I went with Heritage Brick.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome. Thank you for sticking with me.
Oh, you're welcome. I won't finish, but I'll go back and look at the video and finish.
Yeah, it might not get up this week as I have yet to pack for Memphis. And
Oh, that's right, your trip.
So it might not get up if I don't get it done by, well, I probably will because I'm just an overachiever, but.
I think that's an A personality.
It must be. You know, not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing some days.
Yeah. Well, if you don't, I have enough to keep me busy till you get back.
Most of us do. Most of us do. But I'm, pretty much I'm playing now because, that's that's what you do with the leaves. You just keep playing.
Yes.
On these, let's try it with the antique maroon. And I don't even know how it's growing, but I want to go this way. We try with the antique maroon, and if that doesn't show up, then we'll go with something lighter. But I'm thinking that it's growing this way. Can you see that? Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
I love how that's coming along. And I'm thinking if I went darker, it's like, do I go darker or lighter on the pumpkin here to make that show up? If I went lighter. Yeah,
Yeah, that looks nice.
lighter here on the pumpkin, and then my leaf showed up better. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Bleach sand. If I take my brush, thank God I have multiple dome brushes. Okay. You don't want to use a wet one. You really don't want to use a wet one.
Nope.
Wipe that off. Scumble in a little high shine on these. You can scumble in some high shine there. I'm going to scumble in some high shine on my gourd. And I'm going to scumble in some high shine on my leaves. The bleach sand could also not be worked for you because it has that white milky thing to it. So if it gets too milky, you might have to go over it with some other color. So I take some of the cad yellow back. I can punch up over the bleach sand, that cad yellow, and then it pops. And then it doesn't look so milky. Now that one's what, okay. I would like to, I'm going to take some of actually antique maroon. I'm going to draw some detail lines through my stem. You can see that. If it gets too thick, just blot it off. What do you think?
Beautiful.
That area. It just popped out at me again. Orange? What do you think?
Yeah, a wash.
Yep.
Because that center of that leaf looks like it's really tucked under, like it's folding up.
Yeah.
Do you know how when you tuck something under and the edges start to fold up a little bit?
Yeah.
That's how that leaf looks. It's really good.
Right here. Yeah, right there. So now I need to put some orange on the other side because I have orange here. And I need to, so I'm going to blow dry that real quickly. still kind of wet. And what's good too is if you make the orange wide enough, you can go in and, I'm not going to do it on this side, but you can go in and add the heritage brick and then add the antique maroon or whatever colors that you're playing with at the time to give it more depth. Again, it's all about layering your colors. There. I like that color, Canyon Orange. It's a pretty color.
It is.
I'm not sure that works for me, but. So now the yellow kept popping at me and now it's settled down. It's back into the background.
Yeah.
I'm going to add a little bit more heritage brick. Ooh, that wasn't heritage brick. This one is. That one must be Canyon Orange. There we go. When the yellow's behind the Canyon Orange, it has got a nice glow. This one's the antique green. Make sure you wash down any of your makeup lines, ghosties. It happens. See, even he agrees.
He does.
He knows what I'm talking about. I'm going to go a little bit more on the moon yellow so that I can go a little bit more on the the cad yellow and the orange. Sometimes the color follows the vein lines. If we had, what I'm doing now is I'm experimenting with placing a little bit of the plantation pine under the yellow line. Because on my gourd, it's raised. So by doing that, maybe this will look a little bit raised here too. And if you need if you don't have a darker green and you want to go darker, add a little bit of the antique maroon in with your darkest green value, and that will give you a darker. Can you tell?
Yes. It gives it that third dimension.
It needed it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hesitate to do any up here. If I do, I might just go back with the antique green. That was the base. And then just touch some areas. But not every single divot.
Right. It's intermittent. It does look like it's raised above.
Hmm.
It looks knobby too.
Yes. Yep. I did want to go back and play with the, I like that glue gun effect. I saw that at Net and I thought it was really cool. I would like to go back and play with that. I don't know. Do you see anything that stands out to you? Any of you?
Oh, that looks good.
Thank you.
I think it's beautiful, Cindy. The colors are just great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to highlight you all each again, and you're going to show me how beautiful yours is. With all the different colors, and you can do them in washes. If you, you know, not everybody can float color. And I get it, I know. And if you notice, like if you're familiar with some of the other artists, like Nancy Dale Kenny Stout, she doesn't side load, and Lynn Andrews doesn't side load, and everybody has a different way of achieving the same goal here. And I encourage you to do whatever it is that helps you to create the look you want. However you get there, doesn't matter. You get there, it's great, right?
Right.
Is it what they say? It's all about the journey.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do when I'm actually totally satisfied with this is I will varnish it. But I think I'm going to go around here with the antique green again and make that solid because I messed up a little bit with the bleach sand. But on the side here, I might try and do a weathered look just to add it some dimension on the side. But let's see what we got going here. Okay, I'm gonna go, let's see. Hard to do this, let's see. Ophelia, unmute
Yes.
and let's spotlight you, hun. Show us what you got.
I did my sides in espresso brown.
Oh, that's pretty. That's a good idea, although it's not on my palette, but that's beautiful, yeah. You have a nice beveled edges. Oh, look at that. Oh, very nice. A lot of movement in those leaves. Cool. Don't forget to sign it.
I know, I always forget to do that.
And don't forget to sign it. Okay, let's go check Deborah next. Oh, look at that. I love, yep, the leaves are coming. I love that. Beautiful. Lighten up the stem. You're going to highlight the stem of the gourd so that that stem shows up because it blends right now with the leaf. But
Yeah.
it's beautiful. Great job. Cynthia, what you got, honey? Oh, look at that. I really do. The heart really does make it. Oh my gosh. Yours looks like Nubby's too on your gourd.
Yeah, it's that wet and pat on that because it raises it
Yeah.
in certain areas.
And I like the leaves too. Everything. It's wonderful. Who else? Go ahead.
I'm redoing my green one.
Oh, that's okay. You can do that. There's no problem. Okay, so, and, okay, very good. So I'll put it back onto mine so you can look at mine some more. Let me see. If I get it real close. I know that, well, I know that I can do this. There we go. How's that?
Beautiful.
Is it clear?
Yes.
So however you work it out, you want to make sure that when one element's on top of another, you need to make sure that the values aren't so close, or in this case, even so far away that your eye gets drawn right to them. When I left this yellow against that dark maroon, it was like honking at me. So I toned it down with some orange, even though on the camera it doesn't really look. It doesn't really look orange. It is in person, and that tones it down. But I like how the orange on here popped that a little bit, so you see that. This here is still kind of chalky, so I might do a wash of color. Let's do a wash of that orange, canyon orange over that.
You know, it looks like a highlight.
Well, it is in a sense, but it was kind of a little chalky. What did I do with my brush? There it is. You don't want a white highlight on a leaf
Yeah.
necessarily. So that toned it down a little bit, made it a little less chalky. And we can do the same on this side too. I just was a little apprehensive of putting orange there because the pumpkin orange, but it's dark enough that it works itself out. Yeah, I think so. You can even go with that orange against the center vein there a little bit. Because if it's all dark, then it's just a blob of dark, right?
Yes.
We don't want a blob of dark. If your veins on your green leaf got, you know, the light veins, and it doesn't look like it's sitting in, go back with your side load of the dark green color. And then you can set them back in, set them back down behind things. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I'm gonna go back over there. Let's go back over there. We're gonna put some of the orange. I made it a little wider. Let's go in with some cad yellow. Make that up a little bit there. And you can even add some here and there of the cad yellow. Yeah, that moon yellow will help your colors to pop even more. I'm going to add some plantation pine to that crooks of that front petal here, front leaf, just in here. And then it will set it back even more. And with some heritage brick.
It's no good.
Stick that up in there.
Well, is he mad at us? He-
I like that. Nice. The leaves are changing their colors, so that's good.
Were you finished?
Yeah, I think if I need to touch up, I'll do that after everything dries.
Yeah, all set.
That was a lot of fun today, and I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry I missed the end, but thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time.
No, thank you for coming. And the next Paint with Heart is going to be 2 weeks from today, because we're going to be coming home from Memphis next Sunday, so we won't be painting. And we're going to do something spooky, This Way Comes, and it's going to be Halloween themed. It's still a mystery to me, so as soon as I know, I will let you all know. You should get an email from me on the Monday, that I return a week from tomorrow, with the supply list, if there's a line drawing, and what paints and stuff you'll need. So until then, I will have to say thank you again all very much from the bottom of my heart for joining me today. And I look forward to meeting all your friends next week when you bring them with you. And remember to always paint with heart.